Hi guys, I'm Andy. Welcome back to Backpacking UK, the YouTube channel. It's all about hiking, backpacking and wild camping. Right, today I've got a very special behind the scenes look at all my backpacking gear. So this is an accumulation of everything since I've started the channel. Now, believe it or not, I had a bit of a clear out last year. But as I've always said, all the money I've always earned from the YouTube channel has been reinvested back into backpacking gear. So today I'm going to show you like all my camping gear, some of my hiking gear, obviously tons of tents, backpacks, stoves, you name it, it's all here. And there's more of it as well. Some of this is actually currently with friends at the moment. As I've always said, you know, I'll gift things, share things around, get people's feedback, and that just really helps create good solid reviews for the channel. I've even got stuff downstairs as well, all my hiking boots, and then I've also got all my electricals and my gas and some more stoves downstairs too. So today we're going to have a good look to see what I've been spending my money on. Some of this gear you would have seen before, but plenty you would never have seen. Now I'm going to do a competition. Now I want you to guess how much I've spent on this channel since it's been up and running. So I think the channel is now 4 years old. So what have I spent in 4 years? Stick that in the comments section, and I'm going to do a video with all my spreadsheets because I record all of this backpacking gear. I'm going to show you how much I've actually spent in a few weeks time, and the winner's going to get a brand spanking new, not released yet, Nitecore Power Bank, and I might even dish out one of my brand new Flextail Max 5.0 pumps as well. So stick that in the comment section, put how much you think I've spent, and then in a few weeks time I'll let you know if you've won or not. So let's get cracking. Let's have a look at what I've got. So down here I've got my camping tents. Quite happy to use Euro hike tents from Go Outdoors. I've got a couple on loan at the moment. Then up here I've got some of my OEX gear. The Raccoon 2 is on loan at the moment. I've got a couple of Expedition tarps, the classic Bobcat 1. Got that new ultralight panther there. I've got 3FUL gear tent there, I think the Cloud 2. Then up here, I've always said it and I really mean it, I love nature hike stuff. So got all my nature hike tents, quite often use those for local camping. This is bargain of the year so far. Got this from, I think, Sports Direct for £70 in the January sales. Pioneer 2 from Terra Nova. This is a pop-up tent from Canyon. I've got my QU Mountain Star 2P, which is cracking. Got my Lie 1 Nor tent. That's the tunnel tent. I've got their classic Aster gear Young Chuan 1 4 season there. I've got some trekking poles up there. I've got the legendary tent, the Nor tent Vern 1. I've also got the Destin X Dome there. I've just used it once. Won't be seeing this on the channel because it's got a recall already about those dodgy carbon poles, unfortunately. Next, let's have a look. So I've got a selection of the footwear that I use. I've also got some Salomon boxes somewhere else. And then I've got my backpacks. So I've got like my Ether, Osprey Ether, Sierra Designs. Got a Rab rucksack there, Montane Trailblazer, Osprey Exos, Osprey Volt. I've got up here, I've got some of my backpacks, including my Ether 70. These are some of my rucksacks, X-Bed. I've got my On One, Rab, Osprey, some of my cheap Euro hike ones, backpacks that are really cheap, but they do the job. I've got my OEX sleeping bags here, my first ever sleeping bag, which just gives me the worst memories ever from Tesco's. I think it was like £12. I didn't sleep a wink that night. I was absolutely frozen. Decathlon sleeping pad. Then I've got my Zen bivvy. I've got my rock front, which is my like ultralight quilt. That's a nature hike sort of square sleeping bag. I've got my awesome Sierra Designs Nitro deep winter sleeping bag there. My ultralight Thermarest Hyperion there. I've also got my Gucci Atom packs. That's now called the Prospector. It was called the Mo. I've also got the Atom packs. I think it's called the Pulse now. It used to be called the Atom 1. So in the drawers here, I've got all my Jetboils. So Minimo, Jetboil Flash, Jetboil Stash. That's the cook pot. I've got the frying pan, the Summit skillet, and in here I've got my MSR stuff, so wind burner, reactor, my Titan pot. Then I've got some of my OEX stuff. This is brilliant, this Fire Maple non-stick frying pan, brilliant. Some of my utensils, my little Unigear Thai cook pot, cheap as chips. Down here just got like my Trangia and my fuel, hand warmers, some bowls there, some steaks and water filters, got my snow pegs, even more guy lines, got my Delta pegs, the ground anchors. Up here I've got like my pillows, so my big pillows down to my little pillows, little Rab bags there. So in here I've got a few more pillows, a few more stoves, got all my Sea to Summit collapsible gear as well as my coffee stuff. In here I've got my first aid gear, my midge stuff. Down here I've got my cook sets, bit of food, my Apex Everest stuff. This is a really Gucci sort of waterproof, it's just great for storing kit. Then I've got some camping gear like cool box, the batteries that I use for camping, more Nikwax stuff, Decathlon cook set. And I've got this new Tarptent sleeping bag. It's absolutely beautiful gear. It's really nice. Don't want to go on too much about Tarptent, but to be fair, it's bloody amazing stuff. In here got some of my other stoves like OEX, I think it's Fire Maple, Alp Kit, Brew Kit. I've got stoves coming out of my ears that I use there. I've got my gear for when I go camping on my motorbike, so I've got my motorbike luggage there. Here I've got all my sleeping pads, so I've got tons of sleeping pads, regular, wide, hot, cold. In here I've got God knows how many dry bags, probably got about £300 worth of dry bags there. It's quite embarrassing. Then I've got a box with my insulating layers, like some of my down jacket, down pants, my stuff, some of my winter gloves. I've got a load of spare DAC poles there, and I've got literally 1,000,001 boxes for all the gear. So obviously when I create these reviews, I need to know the specifications, so everything that I've ever bought. I've kept the packaging for an absolute hoarder. So this is my little gear loft. So it's absolutely tons of stuff, and believe it or not, I had a massive clear out during the summer. So let's take a look downstairs. So downstairs in my back room, this used to be my exercise room where I used to train for my road bike racing. So I used to have watt bike, look at the screen. It was a bit of a pain cave. Now it's transformed, got loads of storage down here for all my backpacking gear. So I'll just show you some of the stuff that I've got down here. So I've got my big gas, lots of little camping stoves there. Then I've got my small gas, got like my stove that you would have seen in my last video, ultralight backpacking stove. I've got loads of different OS maps for Lake District, Snowdonia, Peak District, Scotland, little Harvey maps as well. They're absolutely brilliant if you don't want to take a big map. A bit of food there. I've got tons of nick wax because I nick wax my boots when they're brand new. Every time I clean them, I re-wax them. Down gear, whether it be sleeping bags or jackets, I'll reproof them. Got loads of different tent pegs, quite like these Eastern pegs, the big ones and the small ones. Also my Hilleberg Black Label tent pegs as well, use those most of the time. I've got lots of cutlery, tons of different guy lines here. Rather than upgrade my tent poles, I tend to just use more guy lines. Got some lighting for my tent. Then I've got different bottles for fuel, food. I've even got things like my little flex tail speaker, which is wicked. Tons of different sort of head torches that I use there. Now I've got my miscellaneous stuff down here, things like my Oakleys, got a few pairs of those, some of my camping gear. That's quite smart. Lots of foldable water bottles, sit pad, writing pad, things like that. Now down at the bottom, I've got things like my Garmin InReach Mini, Garmin Messenger, little Garmin sat nav. I've got my earphones. I tend to use Nitecore Power Banks now. So I've got like my 20,000 and my 10,000, really smart, light, powerful, reliable power banks. Still got some of my old ones, my old Anchor ones, just a bit heavier, not quite as good. Then I've got some of my AV gear, say selfie sticks, tripods, wireless microphones, wired microphones, lighting. I've got things like my little drone, my DJI Neo drone, a Casso little action cam. Then I've got my 360 cams, so I've got things like my Insta360 1R, so it's a 360 camera or a normal action camera, and also things like my new Gucci Insta360 X4 camera, which is just awesome. It's absolutely awesome. So I've got some heated gear, so I've actually got some heated gloves, got a heated jacket, some of my camping gear I've got everywhere. So I've got like randomly a pillow in there and also a sleeping pad too. So up here I've got more sort of YouTube AV gear stuff, and this is where I watch all my blockbusters downstairs. So down here I've got a selection of like my walking boots. So I've got like trail runners, full height hiking boots, mid height hiking boots, trail runners. I've got the lot. I think Mrs. counted 14 pairs just down here alone. So in my drawers I've got some of my lightweight waterproof gear. Got a selection of gloves, hats, base layers, some more base layers. I've got absolutely tons. It's really important to keep yourself nice and warm whatever the weather. And then I've also got all my t-shirts that I use too. So in here I've got all my hiking trousers, hiking shorts. Tend to prefer like mountain equipment, Revolution Race, Fjellrave and stuff. I've got loads and loads of fleeces, and I've got more of these as well, plus my waterproofs. So I hope you enjoyed having a little nose around backstage. I had to have all this loft boarding put in and some additional lights in, because there's just sort of so much of this. But without all this gear and without friends, this channel just wouldn't be possible. It's always been primarily a gear review channel, and the only way to produce gear reviews that are valuable is if you have lots of experience of lots of different brands and also lots of different values of gear as well. So how much do you reckon I've spent in the last 4 years? Stick that in the comment section in a few weeks. I will release the winner. But I hope you've enjoyed having a sneak peek. There's certainly a lot here, and there'll be a lot more in the future. If I have a clear out, I'll let you guys know, and there'll be some bargains galore to be had. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you backpacking soon. Cheers.